I mean, in terms of how delighted we were on Tuesday night, I think the first half in particular was, it was a fantastic performance. It really was. We played some great attacking football and defended well, and had a good shape to us. And Notts County made it really difficult in the second half, but we found a formula to win the game, which was a big 3 points for us. It was a response that we wanted after last week's, unfortunate home loss, and we got the 3 points that was required. So we look forward to this weekend. Realise it's going to be a very difficult game. Anybody who gets managed by Gary Johnson, is always going to be a team that's very organised and works extremely hard and has got good quality as well. So we know it's going to be a difficult afternoon.
Just quickly, you touched upon the first half performance just there. You did so after the game as well at Notts County. It got, of course, difficult to replicate that in every game going forward, but how much can you use that as a blueprint for the team going forward in future matches?
Well, I think if you was to try and profile, what type of way you want to play, I think we ticked a lot of boxes on Tuesday night. Are we going to see that consistently over the course of the season? It'd be very difficult to. I think it'd be very difficult to play to that quality and intensity at our level, but we've got to try. I think that's the task ahead, is that we've got to try and play in that manner. And if we can't play in that manner, then we have to play like we did in the second half, and that's very resolute and organised. The league's very difficult. We have to, everybody understand that there's two teams on the pitch, and as much as we're always only going to be talking about Cambridge United, me and my staff, and we have to look and understand that the opposition have got their own kind of formula that they want to get right as well. So this weekend will be difficult, of course. Major positives over the last 3 or 4 weeks, the way that we've played, some of the results that we've had into round 2 of the FA Cup. The travel's been hard, but we've got through it. We're looking forward to hopefully bringing our A game back to the Cams Glass this weekend.
Touched upon the last 3 or 4 weeks. Four wins from 5 games, like in the previous 5 games, and only 3 defeats in the last 10 league games as well, which was great form and something I guess you'll all be keen to continue. Yeah, and that's something that I want us to, look upon as a positive. We're all aware of the slow start. It was a difficult start. Reasons to why, we were where we were and not getting the results that everybody would have loved to see. But we've responded, and I think that's something that, everybody has to look upon my boys and make sure that they, take the hats off to them, because they really have responded. They've reacted to a slow start to the season, and now we're in it again. We're in a group of teams where we feel that we can compete against, and I would like to say that you look at the teams that we've lost against this season, and probably 75% of them are sat above us in the league. So we've not been losing to many of the teams at the bottom, and we want that to be the case this weekend. We want to come to our home ground, and we want to produce a performance that enables us to get the 3 points. It's a hamstring problem for him. He came off at the right time, didn't go and make it any worse on Tuesday night. So it'll be a late call for him, but he just felt something in there on Tuesday, and it was right that he came off. But when you're looking at positives, I have to pay special credit to Connor. He's had a stop-start season. He done very well for me last year when I first came here, and then found himself out for the rest of the league season last year through injury, and then he's not kind of found his form this year. So he's found it difficult up until the last 2 games, where I just see is starting to, to be the Connor Newton of old. And I think when you've got that type of player who can play like that, it's a positive for everybody. But only he can produce them performances, and it's up to him. It's his career. I want him to do well, of course I do. But we've got probably 21, 22 other players here who are all desperate to do well as well. Just quickly, while we're on the treatment room, it's not been such great news this week for Josh Coulson, has it?
No, it hasn't. No, it's not. It's been a horrible week for him. Horrible week. To get the injury like he did last Saturday. Still unsure how it happened. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. I don't think there was any malicious intent there. I think it was just a lazy leg that was hung out, and Connor's fallen over it, and he's damaged his ligaments. So yeah, he's going to be out for a while, and he'll be seeing a specialist next week. And unfortunately, we won't be having, you know, one of our squad players and one of our bigger characters that we can, you know, more or less rely on when he pulls on the shirt. So big loss for him, but we'll get him back. You know, we'll get him back and we'll get him through it. He's a great lad, and we'll support him. Yeah,
disappointing news there for Josh. Just quickly back onto Cheltenham Town. You obviously touched upon the qualities of Gary Johnson as a manager. Of course, this club knows better than anyone the difficulties of getting back up for the conference, particularly for this club 9 years. Cheltenham did it the first time I've asked him, which just goes to show what quality they have within their side, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned Gary himself. You know, a fine manager who's worked at higher levels than this, worked with some fantastic players in the past, and done his job for Cheltenham last year to get them back in the league. So you know, we know that he's going to be organised. You know, he's going to be rallying his troops after a disappointment on Tuesday night when they lost. But for us, we have to make sure that we look after our own house. And you know, at this moment in time, our own house is pretty tidy, and we want to keep it that way.